So I actually have a little bracelet on here. This is made out of recycled tires and fishing nets. You know, we live in a circular world. The first law of thermodynamics states that matter is neither created nor destroyed, it just changes form. It really is incumbent on us as an additive and color manufacturer to come in and say, we have solutions that could help you meet your sustainability goals. When you're talking about designing plastic, the earlier you start looking at it, the more circular and the more sustainable it's going to be. As an example, food packaging frequently needs good barrier properties from oxygen and water to keep products fresh and protected from outside contaminants. The best way to do that for food packaging is to add a metal layer or use different types of layers of plastic to create that barrier. The problem is once those multi-material layers are created, recyclers can't separate them for recycling. So they are either incinerated or end up in a landfill. Just as an example, Ampacet created a compatibilizer that's an additive that allows multi-material packaging to be recycled as one polymer, and that's polyethylene. You know, not only is this additive helpful for recycling, it also helps packaging manufacturers to reuse their multi-material scrap rather than sending it to landfills. In terms of recyclability, plastic is generally mechanically recyclable 4 to 7 times, depending on the structure and the type of plastic it is. Whereas paper averages about 3 to 5 times that it can be recycled. We have an enormous innovation gap right now. We need to have more of these facilities be able to handle different types of plastics. The most exciting thing is advanced recycling. The idea that we have the opportunity to take mixed plastics and to bring them back to their monomeric state into an oil by things like pyrolysis or solvolysis, and actually create new plastics that are just as good as the virgin materials that they started out with in their previous life. One of those incorrect things that you hear about plastics is that black plastics can't be recycled. Some of our brand customers wanted to retain their black brand color. And then they said, we're going to have to change it because we can't recycle black. And we're like, well, let's see what we can do. We needed to find an alternative material that we could use to pigment plastics that would still be black and black enough for customers, but would still pass this scanning method. So, and then we also needed to make sure that it was actually desirable by the brands. Was it black enough? Was it opaque enough? Was it as good looking as carbon black was to keep their brand identity? And then how recyclable was it? So we had to do a lot of testing along the way, and Ampacet developed strategies and partnerships to do that. So I actually have a little bracelet on here. This is made out of recycled tires and fishing nets, materials that they collected from the bottom of the ocean. There are different levels of degradation from being in salt water or being in the ocean. And we provide color correctors and odor scavengers and things to strengthen that plastic to bring it back up into working order. 4 Oceans is actually going in there and pulling up these tires and using them for different types of products. It's one of those things that I really love to work on because we learn from each other and we're solving some problems. One of the projects that we're working on in Indonesia are where we help create these big water collectors for people that live in rural areas that they can actually have fresh water piped in, plumbed into their homes. We also participate in the TEGs and the RTGs. We have people all over the world in the regional groups in Asia and also in Latin America and in North America. This really has enhanced our ability to produce more sustainable solutions